Hey there YouTube, welcome back to a Black Powder update. We have our next battalion for my Allied First Corps project. These chaps are the 27th Dutch Jager, or Jager, I think is the correct pronouncing. I sat into my Google Translate just before I came on. Obviously these chaps are part of the 1st Brigade. Figures wise, these chaps are elite, or mostly elite, along with some Perry's Command thrown in, and I'll tell you the reason why when we get a little bit closer to them. So let's go straight into it, trying to keep this video fairly short. So we'll start off with the blurb. So like I say, the 27th Dutch Jager, commanded numbering 550 men, and commanded by a Lieutenant Colonel J.W.M. Groenbosch. Let's get into them. So let's start off with the first company of flankers. So again we have these flankers. I suppose you could call them the equivalent of possibly voltigeurs. That's probably what they would have been if, when they were under French service. These guys are fully kitted out with their full issue of British gear. You can see that they have the regular British bayonets rather than sobriquets. We have standard French backpacks, but with black strapping on the sort of the outer strapping, I suppose you could say. I did think about painting all the strapping black, but I thought, well, I mean the chances. I mean these. I don't think I've ever heard of a French backpack that would have that has actually this sort of strapping in black. So I decided to keep that white, but the external strapping, which could be easily added, added to be replaced, or maybe they used the original ones and dyed them black. I don't know, but that would be a lot easier to do than trying to actually paint the main straps black, or dyeing them black or whatever. And then we have the, like I say, elite miniatures. A little bit like Marmite, I suppose you could call these. You either love them or hate them. I'm actually quite a big fan of them. Most of my projects have a fair wad of elite miniatures in them, and I think this project is certainly going to have as many as I can fit in. Yeah, they're really. I think they're great figures. I think that, I mean, I suppose you could say that their faces are a little bit funky, but yeah, I really like them. I suppose you could say that some of their sort of command figures are a bit touch and go, and once again, you could probably tell by the fact that I've got Perry's Command in that I wasn't 100% impressed with the command, but it still makes for a really nice battalion, and they're very, very competitively priced. Next up we have the 4th Company. So these are the regular troops. Again, more or less exactly the same gear as the flankers. British gear, French backpacks, black strapping, and the uniform is green with yellow facings and this red turnback on the corner of the jacket. And colours wise, I actually used a different green this time. I used the rather bizarrely, because you'd never think of using this colour, but it was actually a Vallejo Gunship Green, I think it's called. I can't actually grab it off hand at the moment, but I think it's a really nice colour, and I'm very happy with it actually. So that is the 4th Company. The 2nd Company of Flankers. Move on to the forward companies now. So this is the musicians stand. 3 elite and a Perry's hornist. Now these chaps should have a drummer. but you can't actually get a drummer figure for these boys. So I decided to just use a single hornist or bugler. But still, nice. He's actually a Perry's, along with 3 elite, and yeah, a really nice figure. This one actually. He's got his great coat tied on for slash protection. He's got his bugle, and he's got the British issue NCO-esque type sabre that drummers and buglers would have. And yeah, nice figures. You can also see that the regular troops have this green and yellow pom-pom. So that is the musicians company. Then we have the what normally would be my NCO stand. Now this particular one has an officer in place of the NCO, although there is actually an NCO, a marked up NCO within the battalion somewhere. I can't remember where I put him actually, but he's in there somewhere. He's got his NCO stripes on his arm. Now I decided to use an extra officer on this project. This is the elite officer that comes in the battalion box. He does have some rather odd positioned hands. It's almost as if his hands have been put the wrong way around, almost. It's very odd looking hands. But other than that, he's quite a nice figure. I have this sort of love-hate relationship with elite officers, and like I say, these guys are not too bad. But the sort of the downside to that is the fact that they're both in the same position. So I decided to use one of them as a replacement for the normal NCO, and I think it looks pretty good actually, along with the sort of command stand on the opposite side of him. So 3 normal troops and the officer. And finally the command stand again. I've decided in this particular opportunity to use a mounted figure. Decided to give him I wanted to give him a sort of a different horse. He certainly didn't want a bright horse. So sort of chestnuts. I just wanted to do a different coloured horse. It was the sort of the main reason. So I went hunting the internet to try and find a sort of a unique grey horse. Because obviously grey horses were normally used for obviously buglers in cavalry units. So I wanted to find a sort of a unique horse that this colonel could say, perhaps it's his own horse. And I managed to find this picture of this beautiful sort of dark grey horse, who was sort of half dark grey and half light grey, or a lighter grey, and sort of dapple. And I kind of tried to replicate that on this horse, and I think it turned out okay. I actually really do like the way it turned out. And it's a nice contrast to the sort of brighter coloured officer. And he's kind of like, as you can see, sort of trying to keep his battalion in line as they're marching. He is a Perry's mounted colonel. Here we have the other 2 officers. Now these guys are Perry's as well. And as you can see, the colonel has a white plume, and the troopers have, or at least the foot troops, the junior rank officers, have a all green plume. And of course, similar sort of jackets to the infantry, apart from the fact that they have that orange waistbands and the same sort of yellow facings at the back. Flag again. This is a Perry's flagpole and a Elite Miniatures Dutch Jager flag, or Jager flag. And yeah, very happy. I think this is the standard version with the green around the edges. This is the I'm actually going to only use one of these flags. The Belgian equivalents will have the variant with the missing the wreaths around the edges and just having a plain flag, which I think is a really good way of differentiating them. So that is the just a little bit about junior officers. So this chap, I actually love this guy. This is a Perry's officer. I like the way he has his pistol there. I had to put him on the base. Like I say, normally I have just 2 officers on a base and the standard. But in this case, I decided to have the extra officer on the NCO base because I really wanted to use this chap in this particular battalion. So as you can see, we have the junior officer, the standard, the mounted colonel, and then we have the second junior officer in command of the second company. So that is it. That's the end. I hope you enjoyed it. Next up, I think I have 2 battalions left to do in this particular brigade, and of course the brigade commander himself. Yeah, I don't know what I'll be doing next. It'll either be Belgian line or my 3rd unit of militia. So until the next time, hope you all enjoyed it. Big thanks to all my subscribers and watchers, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye bye.